Confirmed COVID-19 cases in Texas have topped more than 210,000. More than 10,000 new cases were reported today. That's the first time it's happened in Texas. And more than 2,700 people have died in our state from the virus. Some places in Texas are starting to worry that they're going to run out of hospital beds if the numbers continue to climb. Joining us now to talk more about this is the governor of Texas, Gov Abbott. Governor, thanks for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you all.
You know, some cities and counties, including Austin's mayor, would like more control over how they fight the spread of COVID-19, such as the ability to order citizens to stay at home. Is that something you would consider?
Well, especially not under the current circumstances, and the circumstances are these. And that is, I did receive a letter from the Austin mayor basically asking if he could retake control for the purpose of shutting down the city of Austin. And shutting down businesses and locking people back into their homes is the wrong approach at this time for one primary reason. And that's because we've seen absolutely no effort whatsoever by the Austin mayor to enforce all of these rules that have been imposed, whether it be requiring people to wear a mask, whether it be not allowing bars to serve alcohol, whether it be making sure that there are limitations enforced with regard to certain capacity at different types of locations. Not once have I seen either the Austin mayor or the jurisdiction of Austin take any action. And let me tell you why this is important. All of these protocols were put in place for one reason, and that's because doctors said if these protocols were followed, it will slow the spread of the coronavirus, and we will be able to continue to keep businesses open, allow people to earn a paycheck. And he wants to go to a lockdown but not enforce any rule. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Right. Well, I mean, talking about enforcement, for example, the sheriff of Gillespie County says he can't and won't enforce your face covering order because he says law enforcement cannot detain people, which the sheriff believes is necessary in order to write a citation or issue a warning. Other law enforcement officials are saying the same thing. Does that order need some tweaking or some strengthening or guidance?
Listen, we've had really good lawyers who have been involved in prosecuting people before, involved in writing that order. And it provides law enforcement the same tools and strategies they have when they pull somebody over for not wearing a seatbelt. And so they have the authority to enforce it. I think maybe they just don't want to, but I know they can.
All right, let's talk about schools opening up in the fall. You think kids should be in class. So does President Trump. Should local school districts and ultimately the parents have the final say on if their kids are going to attend and how those schools operate in this pandemic? You know, for example, your mask order with kids under 10 being exempt. Should districts be able to amend that if they think it's important for safety?
Well, you kind of asked a couple of questions there. Let me answer the first one first, and that is, you said, should parents have the ultimate decision about whether or not their child will go to a classroom? The way the TEA structure is set up is parents do have the ultimate say. Understand the way the system is set up, and that is the best location for a child for learning actually is in a classroom with teachers and other students. However, we know because of COVID that may not be possible. As a result, we have distance learning already set up with parents having the choice to decide whether or not they're going to have their child either in the classroom or learning from home. Also, as you were kind of raising, districts do have a say in a multitude of standards, one of which you raised, which was the face mask issue. Understand that there is a statewide face mask order in place for those aged 10 and older right now. However, we all know that things change very rapidly with the coronavirus, and who knows whether or not the mask order will still be in place when the school year begins. Hopefully, with the effectiveness of the mask order as well as the other orders, we will have corralled the coronavirus, and the face mask order will no longer need to be in place.
Okay. And, you know, finally, Governor, the state Republican convention in Houston next week, should that go on? Because the mayor of Houston sure thinks it would be a mistake. What do you think?
Well, one thing that we've seen, whether it be the statewide numbers or especially the Houston numbers with the number of people testing positive and the hospitalizations, as well as the deaths, mean that there is a necessity of using maximum safety to protect everybody's health. And so there is official business that needs to take place for that convention. It's not just a gathering of people. And if it goes forward, it is necessary to make sure that the proper protocols are being followed. In fact, the mayor of Houston came out and said as much. The impression I got from the mayor from what he said, and that is if there is any violation of the protocols whatsoever that could lead either to an expansion of COVID at the convention center or exposing the workers at the convention center, he may exercise his unilateral authority at that time to shut it down. As a result, I think that the Republican Party is making sure that if they do go ahead and have it in person, they will be practicing the safest protocols possible to protect everybody's health.
Okay, we got to wrap it up. Governor Greg Abbott, as always, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you all, and be safe.